Hey guys, welcome to the Music Workflow Academy podcast. We've got Libby on today, who runs a drum and bass HIIT class. Really excited to have her on. How's your face doing, Libby? You okay?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not as swollen and hamster like as I was a few days ago, but I'm getting there. For
Good.
but yeah, wisdom teeth, not fun. It's not fun.
Oh God, they should call it something else, like painful teeth or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know who named it wisdom teeth, but they definitely need to change that.
No wisdom to be had there. So why don't you give yourself a little introduction? Obviously, people know me, Omar, run Music Workflow Academy. We've got 105,000 students, 170 countries, help music producers and DJs. Tell us a bit about yourself. What have you been up to?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me on. I feel very honoured to feature on your podcast. Um, and yeah, I always feel like I don't know if you ever get this, but like a little bit of imposter syndrome in that I find it mad that people are still interested in what I do, which started as me jumping around in my little room here because I hated gyms and I hated gym music and I hated all sports. So, but I loved raving. And after some health stuff that happened, like my late 20s, I just thought, I'm going to start just like training and getting stronger myself. And I found I loved it as long as I did it to drum and bass music and to like that tempo and made me feel like I was sort of in a rave. Um, did my course, level 3 PT, and I just sort of mentioned it to a few people like, oh, do you reckon people would come if I did a drum and bass, like a workout class? And Ben from Drum Sound Bassline Smith was like, yeah, definitely. Like, I think other people will come. And amazingly, people have done, and it's now grown to what it is. Lockdown kind of helped, probably the same as you. I know it helped catapult you like way further than you'd ever expected. And same for me. I now have people that join in with me from all over the world. And I was very, very lucky to meet some of them this year at Letterall Festival, which was honestly so humbling. It was amazing. So yeah, in a nutshell, I jump around to drum and bass and other people join in.
Sounds great. Sounds great. You have a bit of a community going on. You've got a bit of a following. So, what were your kind of main challenges when building that community, and how do you nurture that to today, and how do you kind of connect with that audience? Would you say kind of through music and stuff?
I think I'm very lucky in that drum and bass is like a family. And straight away, like when I mentioned what I was going to do, people that I knew in the scene were really supportive of it. And I mean, I don't know because I don't really know many other music scenes, but people that I know that are like multi-genre said that the drum and bass scene itself is really unique in that you feel connected to so many people. And when I started my class, it felt like a family. And when lockdown ended, like began even, it was like, oh my God, I'm not going to see these people. And it was just horrible thinking I'm not going to have that connection. So straight away I was like, right, I need to go online, I need to try Zoom. I think Patreon came into its own then, and that's where I like host my classes now. And I just was able to feel connected to them still. And obviously it's less so much now live, a lot of it's on demand because people are back to work. But at the time we'd have like 40, 50 people all joining in live. And I felt like, although I was home isolating by myself with my little family, I was still with everyone, and it was amazing. And we chatted about it after and chatted about it before and connected with more artists as well for mixes for the class. Yeah, it was incredible.
Amazing, amazing. I remember getting invited to do an 1,000 person festival on Zoom over lockdown.
Oh my God.
So nervous. And the first hour was house, and the next hour they were like, "Do you want to play drum and bass?" And I was like, I'd already necked like 2 bottles of wine because I was so nervous. And I was like, okay, fine. So I had to like live stream it in like a basement somewhere. And yeah, we did some drum and bass mixing, which it went down a treat. A few of my friends were part of that festival, which is quite cool. So tell us about your experience with Let It Roll, and doing hit classes there, and doing your thing there.
Let It Roll is just, have you been? It's insane. Like, I love it. like a world within a world, and it's the only time I feel like the whole drum and bass community gets together. And I've done my classes there for 6 years now. Obviously 2 years of that was lockdown. I've done 6, I think, there. And each time, the first time we went, we're in this tiny little tent, and it was the only place where there was shade because it's actually really hot there. Everyone was asleep on the floor, and I was there like, there's no way these people are going to get up and do an hour of intense HIIT. Some are like, come on, let's go, let's do drum bass workout. I had Cryptomedic with me as well. He was like hyping people up, and like within 10 minutes everyone was on their feet, the tent was full. I was just blown away. And then each year the stage they put us on is has been bigger and bigger, and we were on the temple stage, which was incredible again this year. And it just amazes me that people can be bothered. It was 36 degrees this year, like no shade, blistering hot. They'd already been raving for a whole 2 days, and they came and joined in. So
amazing. It says a lot about the drum and bass community, and obviously the quality of your classes. People must have had a lot of fun and enjoyed it. Like, so I don't know where the imposter syndrome's coming from. Like, you've done the biggest drum and bass.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, one of my followers came from Korea to let it roll, and he was like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, can I have a picture? And I'm like, what, like, really? But yeah, okay, that's fine. But I'm still like, why? But obviously I'm very grateful, and I love it. Was so nice, not only like me getting to meet them, but me being able to introduce them to each other and be like, we all do these classes together from all corners of the world, like Canada, Korea, Spain, UK. It was mental.
And what's so lovely is that you couldn't really do that like 50 years ago. There wasn't a space for us to, you know, talk with people all around the world. There wasn't the internet, you know, and all of that. So it's just amazing. Like, it's such a new technology that people haven't really tapped into yet, and we can just connect with each other like me and you connected. Like, do you know what I mean? If it wasn't for the internet and stuff, we wouldn't have been able to do this. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I feel super lucky to be able to do it, and I'm sure you feel the same. It's like, wow, I can't believe I get to do what I love and have other people enjoy it as well.
It's great that you get to add value to people's lives. Like, you know, it's probably life changing for a lot of people, and sometimes it feels like you're just sitting there doing your thing, but that can inspire others and you know, kind of motivate them to get into fitness, which is great. B, you know, bringing people into the drum and bass industry, which is always good for the scene. Like, it's obviously a very healthy and positive thing that you're doing. There's not always people with good intentions in the music industry, so it's good that you're providing a positive musical experience for others to enjoy, and people are obviously lapping it up and loving it. So I wish you all the success with everything, and I'm sure there'll be space for collaboration at some point, seeing as I mix and all that stuff.
So yeah, I think it has to happen. I think that's like the other thing as well that lockdown inspired was people who had other like connections that maybe had skills that they'd never considered before. They're now like, what can we do with this? Like an example of someone who's just massively inspiring to me is Turno, and what he's done with his mindset project recently. Like, you know, it's just amazing. He's such a lovely guy as well, and to see what he's created in such a short space of time is mind-blowing. Really is.
Yeah, shout out to Turno. Big ups to everyone in the drum and bass scene, obviously everyone that's keeping it good and positive. Like, it's thriving at the moment, which is great. Some people are doing some amazing stuff. So what does like your day-to-day look like, and how was your experience at Let It Roll? Were you treated fairly there? You know, was everyone nice to you? Did you set up to a bit of raving before? Was it more of a professional one, or what was your experience like with all of
that? Yeah, I did get to do a little bit of raving. It's a funny one because the last couple of times I've been, I didn't have an awful lot of time. I just sort of went, did my class, said a really quick hello to everyone, and then got back. But this time I went for like 5 days, and it was proper regimented how I had to get from like one place to the other. And when they first sent me my itinerary, I was a bit like, okay, so I'm getting 2 hours sleep and that's it. And I can't function on that. So typical day whilst I was there was get up, get ready really quick, go straight over, do my class, had normally like an hour after, and then transfer back to the hotel, which was like an hour from the festival. And then each day one day I had an hour, the next day I had 55 minutes to shower, get changed, and then get picked up and go back. Then did some raving, saw some people, and then taxi back and did it all over again. I have to say the taxis with like the other artists and stuff were some of the most fun times I've ever had. We sang karaoke to Sugar Babes, Spice Girls, Kylie Minogue, Blink 182, no drum and bass at all. It was just so much fun. And then all over again the next day. So it felt like a dream. It was hard to come back. It was hard.
What's your musical journey been like? Did you just kind of get into drum and bass at a young age, or did you start with something else and then kind of gravitated towards it? What was that like for you?
Well, I grew up sort of quite differently. I grew up as a traveller, and my uncle was a house DJ. So from when I was like 6, I was like, I want to be a DJ like my uncle. And then obviously I got a bit older and what I wanted to do changed. But I've always loved music, and we didn't really have a TV when I was growing up. So we had like music on constantly, reggae, house. My mum loves rock, bit of everything. But I loved trance music, as embarrassing as that is to admit. And I was just like, I think it was because it was different to anything I'd heard before. And I remember going to God's Kitchen Global Gathering when I was 17, and I went on a coach out with my friends. There was no like phones. Sorry, my phone just rang then, right at the point. Like getting on this coach with all these random people, and there was 9 arenas at Global at the time. It was like early doors, all trance or hardcore, but there was one, and it was Accelerated Culture. And I just walked in, and I'd never heard drum and bass before. We're talking 2003, so this is quite a long time ago. And I just fell in love. Like, I got picked up by someone and put on their shoulders, and all my friends were just like loving it. And that was it. I was converted. I made friends with people in there that I'm like still friends with today, and I've been a convert ever since. So yeah, I've like took time out when I haven't been able to. Like, obviously I've got a little girl, so when she was young I didn't go out as much, but now I'm just so happy that it's a part of my life in terms of like a way that I can actually do it. I have to say 6 a.m. raves are not for me anymore. I can't do it. I'm a day party person now. But yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. Incredible. Can't be a good day party in like Bristol or something. It's so much Tobacco Docks or something like that, you know, or
Printworks.
They got that new venue, Beams. I'm waiting to throw some sort of drum and bass event in there. That'd be cool.
Oh my god, where's that?
I don't even know. Let me check. It's like a sister venue for Printworks.
Okay.
It just opened up like last month. Beams location. And they got these lights on the floor. It's like more of a visual experience. I think it's like 4,000 capacity. East London, Royal Docks. So yeah, kind of around Printworks and all that. But yeah, it looks pretty sick. I'll show you. There's a little picture. I don't know if you can see that at all.
I'll have to Google it. I'll have to search it. But yeah, I mean,
it's a warehouse.
Something like Printworks is going to be good. So I'm sold.
Yeah, man. I love Let It Roll as well. Like, I always catch a suntan there. I'm always in the VIP. Like, it's funny festival. So yeah, and I'd say like you kind of seem to have like a passion with fitness, and that's kind of integrated into your music taste, which is great. So those two things kind of complement each other quite a lot, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you say I have a passion for fitness, I always feel a bit embarrassed because I didn't at all. I didn't do PE at school. I hated it. Never did any exercise. And like in the film Ratatouille, when the chef says anyone can cook, I feel like that's me, but with exercise. I'm like, anyone can exercise, because yeah, I didn't run, I didn't do sports, I didn't do anything. But now fitness is my job, my life. I work out, you know, all the time for work and for fun. Like I love the gym now. And I just think you need that catalyst, that thing to find how you can enjoy it, whether that's dance, a team sport, CrossFit, weights, running, whatever it is. There's something for everyone. It's just finding what doesn't feel like a chore. Don't get me wrong, some days obviously you're like, oh, I'm tired, but you always feel better after, always.
Sure, it's good for like keeping flexible and fit and healthy. Lots of positive health benefits. So who are some of your favorite drum and bass artists at the moment that you like?
Always Hybrid Minds. Always. They're like, they've just been up there with my favorites since I first heard them. I've been listening to quite a lot of the Born on Road DJs as well, like Bish, Crossy, Kelvin 373, and they've come and played for me at my live events in Motion. And they're just always like, they're such fun mixes. You can't be sad after you've listened to like 10 minutes of one of their mixes. They're just so good. Yeah, production wise, again, like I quite like Liquid if I was just going to listen to an album. So Whiny, yeah, Hybrid Minds, anything that is like BC, Charlotte Hayne, that kind of collaboration. And A Little Sound as well, because she seems to be able to turn her talent to like any type of drum and bass, and it just works. And I love that. It's so good. Plus she's lovely as well.
That's always a benefit. And so what does your day-to-day look like? Like how do you unwind? Like it's quite difficult being an entrepreneur and being a female entrepreneur. I'm sure you're going to inspire a lot of people on doing this podcast to go and chase their dreams. And even if things don't work out for you straight away, you've kind of turned that around into something positive, and you're making a living doing what you love, which is the ultimate goal for anyone really. And you're actually helping people, which is, you know, the kind of goal of a good business. So what does your day-to-day look like? Do you ever get burnt out? Do you ever get stressed out? Or
yeah, I mean, I think anyone would be lying if they said they didn't. But so a typical day, obviously my week is kind of structured around when my classes are. So Monday morning, 7 a.m, there's nothing like giving you a kick up the ass when you've got to go and teach live HIIT to people at 7 a.m, whether it's dark, whether it's raining, whether it's cold. Some mornings I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it live, or don't want to do it. There might not be anyone on. It doesn't matter if there's one person on that stream. It's worth it, and I love it, and I always feel better afterwards. It's just, yeah, that is like a day maker for me. And then I'm up, and then I do the school run with my daughter, and then Mondays are like a mixed admin clients day, so I do personal training clients as well now, which is something I've started doing more recently. And I do sports massage, which is actually something I've done for 20 years now, which makes me sound really old. And then yeah, just eating a lot, drinking a lot of coffee. Usually do my own workout in the middle of the day where I train weights, and then evening is kind of like social media stuff, like working out what I'm going to do, trying to work on getting new events, which I'm always trying to look to grow in more locations around the UK and Europe, hopefully. Wednesdays I have my live in-person class, and I get to go and instruct at either like Move nightclub in Exeter or in Plymouth, which the depot in Plymouth is an insane venue. If you ever get a chance to go, I love it. I hadn't been there until I taught there, and it's so good. Speaking with artists, like trying to get new mixes and seeing if they want to come play for me. And yeah, I mean, I still get asked like various different things, like do I want to do an article, and like do I want to do a podcast, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why people want to talk to me, but obviously I'm glad they do. I'm also working on launching my new clothing range at the moment, so once I'm recovered, I'll finish getting the photos done, get those up for sale. And yeah, I'm always thinking, what could I do? Like, what else can I do? I feel like I'm not doing enough, which you probably get as well. Like,
Yeah,
it's just hard not to beat yourself up about like, oh, I could have done this today, or I should be aiming bigger or aiming higher.
it's the thing is, right, is people who do nothing, they're like content with what they do in a day to day, but people who want to do a lot of stuff, you can get everything that you want done for today, tomorrow, the day after, and at the end of it you're like, I've not done enough. That's just, it's a winner's mindset. Like there's not much you can do really. Like it,
Yeah.
you need to learn to be content with yourself. Like what you're doing is amazing, and reflect on what everyone else is up to, like the people you went to school with, maybe the people who, you know, like comparison isn't always a good thing. Like it's actually not a good thing at all, really. Like you're in your own lane and what you're doing is amazing. So as long as you're hitting your goals day to day, if you do that every day for the year, you're going to be in a different place each year. So, you know, I'm sure we'll see you in Europe, probably like next year or like the year after or anything like that. So, you know, I'm giving you a platform to show what you do, and like I'm going to shout you out on my Instagram and stuff when you release your clothing. So,
No, thank you. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think it's good. It's not like when you're running your own business, it's not like a video game where I've completed it, now that's done. It's like, okay, I've done this, what can I do next, or like how can I do that again but better? And I feel like that's where I'm at. There's always things where I think I could have done more, and I know I could have done, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I listened to this podcast recently and they were like, if you do one small thing each day towards your long-term goals, that's one like brick in a path. So if you think you just do one thing, that's 365 bricks in a year. Your path's a path now. It's not just a brick. And I don't know, it's a simple analogy, but it stayed with me and it's helped me a lot.
for sure, definitely. Like it's all about that incremental progress. As long as you're being consistent, you will grow. There is no amount of money that's ever enough. Like you can set goals and then you hit it, and then there's another goal. It is never enough, but that's life. Like it's more like a never-ending video game. Obviously, it does end. It does end at the end. So, you know, keep that in mind. And I think like as long as you focus on your legacy and building something that will help future generations, like with my music workflow academy, I'm going to hand this down to my kids, and they're going to take care of it, and I'm setting up a nice foundation for them. And you know, even if I sell it or anything, like I'm going to keep space for them. So just making the world a better place for future generations is something I think you can focus on. And as long as you're doing that, you're doing a lot more than like 99% of people. So I wouldn't worry too much, like, you know, with being hard on yourself. Like there's no need for that really. Like what you're doing is great. So just keep it up, basically. Keep it up, keep plugging away. And the results speak for themselves. Like if you're putting the hard work in, that's all you've got to do really. Put the hard work in, set your goals, hit your goals. Even if it's go out for a 5-minute walk, like, and then the next day do a 10-minute, then a 15-minute. You know, you're going to be building, feeling good about yourself. Yeah, just a little bit.
It's funny because I do like obviously my personal training, I do my classes, but I do these intense 8-week courses with people to kind of transform their eating habits and like their attitude towards health and fitness and things like that. And it's never the workout or the counting calories that make the difference. It's things like getting up every morning and having your lemon water, or making sure you get your steps in, or making sure you've like moved your body in a way that you enjoy a few times a week, making sure you're drinking your water. It's the small things that you do every day. It's not the 1-hour workout you do twice a week. Like, yeah, that's good and it's going to help, but that's not actually the main fundamental changes. And I try and teach people how to live rather than how to count calories or how to beat themselves up if they don't go to the gym, because I feel like those are the messages that stay long term and help people. So
Yeah.
yes, I guess it's a bit different to how other PTs work, but that's because I'm not from a PT background really. I'm just a raver who likes to dance, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's what I love to hear. And you've turned raving into a business basically. Like you're basically getting paid to rave, which is like it's basically what a DJ does. And you're inspiring positive lifestyles. So it's good. That's good. So yeah, what are your views on like spirituality and stuff? Do you have any kind of a spiritual side to you or anything like that?
Well, I don't know if you see on my Instagram, I don't know if this counts as spiritual, but I'm a very angel numbers kind of girl. So I'm always 11, 11, 22, 22, see a white feather. And I've taken those signs that I've seen, and for me, I've used them as encouragement. Like, I'm on the right track, I'm doing the right thing. It's people looking out for me, or like something out there is looking out for me. I have to say, like, it's not like I don't have days where I question everything, and I think everyone does. Like, I speak to artists all the time, and we're like, oh, maybe I should just go back to like a 9 to 5, or maybe I should just get another job alongside. But I feel like once you've started down this path, it's really hard to go back to that. And now I don't think I'd be content. So then it makes me work harder at making more of what I've built rather than going back.
Exactly. Fuck the 9 to 5. Fuck the rat race. Like, I've been trying to set up a successful business since I was 14.
I saw that actually. That was really, really inspiring to me, because my daughter's nearly 14 and she's dead set on her life goals. So it was great to hear that from the age of 14, that was your goals, and you've achieved what you set out to do at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure we'll meet up for a coffee at some point. I'll meet your door and then give us some advice and stuff. Like, I've had the odds against me the whole time, and like I've had a lot of people say no, I can't DJ, or you can't go play in Ibiza, or this and that. But it's just the main thing is don't let anyone stop you. It's all resistance, and sometimes even your own brain is wrong, like saying that you're not doing enough, saying things like that. It's time to prove yourself wrong and be like, do you know what, I am doing enough. This is where I was last year, this is where I am this year. The growth and stuff. I've got so much confidence now, and I'm unshakable at this point, and I'm very good at cutting things off that don't attribute to my success. There's a lot of lead balloons and stuff, so just cut it all off. I've cut off a lot of things just to get to a place where I'm happy, like with what I'm doing. And a lot of people, if I kept them, they would have said, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I had to cut them off, and now I'm in the Forbes list, and they're still doing the same thing. So it speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Just gut instinct's great, but sometimes even your own brain is against you, and then that's kind of what you need to work on, and just write things down. Like, I write a lot down. I've got a whiteboard over there. I write down my weekly goals, my yearly goals, and I tick them off, and it feels quite nice.
Definitely about that whiteboard life.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone should have a whiteboard.
For sure. I need to get another one. Mine's always full. Like, I need a whiteboard.
Well, I've got like a small one for daily stuff, and then a big one for like long term. And yeah, I just writing stuff on it makes me feel more productive. You're probably the same. You're like, right, it's up there now. It's real. It's on the whiteboard.
Once you write it down, it's out of your brain. So guys, if you're listening, you haven't got a whiteboard yet, get one. I got mine from Amazon. Comes with these little green sticker things and yellow and red, and you can kind of prioritize things your day to day. It's quite fun. Yeah, so yeah, like that's it really. Like, just do something positive, like help one person a day, and that positivity will create ripples in life. Like, you helping one person with HIIT will make them happy, and then that might make them do a nice deed for someone else. So I'm sure you're inspiring a lot of people. Like, if people are coming up to you taking pictures and stuff, I think that's great.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was lovely.
Yeah, I've had people come up and ask my autograph and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? I've had people recording my conversations. I've had all sorts of funny stuff, but just got to focus on the positives. Like, I remember when I started, I had one. I never thought anyone was going to sign up, and then I had one student, and I had two students, 100, 200, 300, 400, and I got to like an obstacle at about 300, 400, and people were saying all sorts of stuff, and it was putting me off things. But then I got 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. And I spoke with my life coach at the time. He worked with Richard Branson, and I was like, he said, what do you want your goals to be for September 2022? And I said, I want 20,000 students, my investment portfolio is 10x, stuff like that. And he wrote it all down, sent it back to me, and then a week later, everything happened. So I went viral overnight. I had like 10,000 new students in September, and now we're at 105,000. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I set my goals. I work like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't really, all I do is I go to the gym. Like, I go to a rave every few weeks, and that's it. Like, I'm fucking driven as fuck. But
it doesn't feel like work when you enjoy what you do.
No, not at all. It doesn't feel like work. Like, I get to connect with amazing people all day. My student I had before this call, she's in the WWE. She wants to include DJing as part of her act. And then last week I connected with a singer. She's like verified. She's got millions of streams and stuff. So my students are all amazing, and like, I'm doing more podcasts now. So I have you on, and I just had Emma on last week, who's a sound healer.
I saw that. Yeah, that looks really good.
She's sick. She's got a TED talk coming up, and then next week I've got a very special guest announced. I can't say who it is right now, but yeah, no.
Keep an eye.
Huh?
I have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just keep it up. Like, I think it's great. Like, I believe in equality and all that stuff, and the world we live in today is just fucked. And it's good to give people a platform. Like, I've always been about having my table, and I let other people sit, and we share. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to keep it all for myself, because that's not how I operate. Like, I just believe in helping people. So I've given away millions of pounds of stuff for free. But it all comes back to you. So, it's a good thing to do. Like, just keep at it. Like, it's just great. So would you be able to do HIIT classes without the drum and bass? You feel like that's such a big complementing thing?
I mean, I couldn't, because it's part of what I do. And I mean, I've had like various messages along the way, like, oh, you should do a house workout, or you should do this, or you should do that. And it's like, but that isn't what I do. My brand is DNB, hit the floor. Like, I love it. It's the only genre I know anything about, that I'm passionate about. There's the type of drum and bass for every mood. You're sad, put on Liquid. You're angry, put on Eurofunk. Like, you're happy and in love, put on Liquid. You want to get in the mood for a party, put on like Jump Up. It's just medicine for me. And I don't think it's something that I'll ever grow out of. I'm going to be probably one of those like viral grandmothers that's going in to Jump Up in however many years. So no, I just don't think I could. I even struggle to train like my clients in the gym to music that isn't drum and bass, because everything I do now is just like set at that tempo, and it just in my head it's something's off. So couldn't do it.
It's kind of like yin and yang. You've got your fitness, drum and bass. It gets the heart rate going. So obviously works for you in what you're doing, which is fantastic. And where can people find you? Like, where can people sign up for your stuff? We've got a lot of drum and bass students who absolutely love it. And I'm sure a lot of them are going to be signing up.
Oh, well, all my links are on Instagram. I've got my main website on there where you can do my online classes. There's like a gym guide as well with a bit like of my background, and then the clothing, my own like booty bands, which I'll show you quickly because I've actually got them here, which this is one of the things I'm most proud of, actually. So it's got the drum and bass waveform. You can buy them on there. All the workouts to use them are on my Patreon, and get involved. The more the merrier. And I love hearing from people that have like found even just like the music helpful for them and how it's changed their lives. Definitely.
Yeah. And what is your Instagram? Give that a quick shout out.
It's DNB underscore hit the floor with 2 I's for hit. You can find me there, and my website is dnbhitthefloor.com, and everything is on there.
We'll include that in the description. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
dnbhitthefloor.com. And yeah, so what have you got in store? Any exciting plans that you want to share, like any international movement, stuff like that?
Well, yeah, hopefully Czech Republic for a pop-up event. I'm not sure when that is going to be yet. I'm probably going to have to push it to early next year now until I'm completely recovered. I also have a record label collaboration that I can't say who it's with yet, but I'm very, very excited about that. It's been a long time coming, and it's also been like the record label which has seen me through my love of drum and bass. So yeah, that is super exciting. And more venues. I'm hopefully returning to Nottingham again soon, so my northern followers can come along. And yeah, all my in-person and Southwest classes start again from, well, tomorrow, next month, November. So yeah, there's lots of places you can catch me, and online 4 times a week.
Amazing. And yeah, so how many kind of students are you at the moment? Like people that turn up, you got a lot of people?
For the in-person or online?
In person and online.
Online really varies from month to month, because obviously I've got my paid one and then I've got some free on YouTube. So on YouTube I've got like about 1,300, and then online on my paids I've got about 50 at the moment that join in my regular classes. And then the in-person events like can honestly be so varied, especially depending on the size of the nightclub. So the smallest I've ever had, I think, is like 10 people, and the biggest I've ever had was like 350 people. So anywhere in between. And you know what, I love every single one, whether there's 10 or whether there's 350. So yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that you're really passionate about it and you enjoy it. So that's good. Like you get to do what you love every day. So it's a huge touch. And yeah, what are your goals? Like we'll hopefully we'll see those numbers double for next year.
Yeah, I'd like to reach more people. I'm trying to like work with, I'm trying to like bring someone on board that can help grow that and like spread the word, because I'm not like, I have no experience in marketing or growth or anything like that. And I just feel like I'm probably not the best person. It's the same as like, I wouldn't try and rewire my house. That's not where my skills are. I'd get someone in to do it. So I'm hopefully working with an MC who specializes in marketing, actually, who's going to come on board and help me grow my like subscribers, grow the community. And goals are, yeah, more European shows, and eventually, which like has actually changed because now I'm doing more online, it's less pressing, but long term I'm going to bring on some instructors, and we're going to grow the brand as well. So I've got 4 in mind that will join me, and they're all over the world. One's in New Zealand, one's in Germany, one's in Czech. So eventually the DNB HIIT family will be much bigger.
Buzzing.
Long-term goals, yeah.
Absolutely buzzing. Yeah, I can see all of that happening, to be honest. So yeah, really excited for all of that. Who have you got? Have you got any special guests for your upcoming events? Any big DJs or anything like that?
Well, I'm actually working again with, when I go back to Bristol, the dates need to be confirmed for that, Original Sin. And potentially Taxman. He said that he'd like to play. So there are varying opinions on Jump Up, but my God, it's for my classes, it's insane. We had one where Sub-Zero played. We ran over. We did like an hour and 20 minutes because people were just absolutely going in. There was girls screaming. It was the most mental experience ever. And it was just so good. It was so much fun. I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to like keep going and keep going. The guys at Motion were like, come on, we need to go home now. So,
right. Yeah. Jump Up's my favorite subgenre. I've always loved it.
Oh God, it's just like that energy is there's nothing compared to it at all.
Yeah. Once you've seen it in the right setting, you're like, oh, that's what it's about. Like, I think a lot of people hate on it because they haven't seen it in like a proper warehouse or
It's
anything.
like, yeah, you're not going to sit on your sofa, have a cup of tea and listen to Jump Up, but like, that's not what it's there for. It's there to get you going in the gym, get you going for a night out, like have the best time with your friends. Yes, I'm a convert. A few years ago I was like, yeah, I love Jump Up. I'm not even embarrassed to admit it. Love it.
No, it's the best subgenre, and I've always thought like if it was popular, like it is getting more popular with like TikTok trends and stuff. I just think everyone in the world should listen to it. Like everything is energy at the end of the day. So, and for me, I think Jump Up is just the best energy. Like it's so much fun and like vibrant and stuff. And then, I just think if everyone loved it, it would just it'd be sick. Like I love playing a Jump Up set. It's so funny.
You've only got to look at the recent success of HEDx to see that it is becoming more popular, and it, like his shows just sold out within days, and like all the videos I've seen have been crazy. So he's someone I've never actually I saw him at Roll, but I've not seen him in the UK, so I'd like to definitely check him out.
He's a really nice guy, man. Really nice guy. We were talking about Pokemon when I met him at Transmission Festival a few years ago, and I saw him at Boundary Festival in Brighton. Like I think it was last month. It was like Kings of the Rollers, HEDx, Boo.
Oh, Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton. Yeah, I played that festival in 2018. It was like Andy C and all of them lot, and then this year it was like Boo's really nice as well. And I got to see HEDx with all his new music, which was great. We just accidentally stumbled upon the stage and he was on. So yeah, man, he's got lots of dubs. So yeah, great guy. Good to see that stuff. You can. There's a great scene in Bristol. You've got Czech Republic. London is, once they get an event in Beams, HEDx should do an event there or something. It would just be nice. It's good in Belgium. They have that Rampage Festival. There's a few places where it's growing and stuff. I find it
on the list. That's like a goal for me. I went a couple of years ago and I thought it would work here, definitely. So anyone from Tomorrowland's out there, get my class involved. That'd be good.
Literally Tomorrowland. All right, perfect. All right, so yeah, is there anything else you want to go over?
I think we've covered everything, but yeah, just come and give it a try. Even if you think the sound of doing HIIT is horrendous, I promise you, you'll be having way too much fun to even notice that you're doing like squat jumps and high knees and stuff like that. So yeah, come and give it a try.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it? Because the thing is with HIIT is once you do a HIIT workout, it burns fat over time. So it's just.
I don't know that. Like I tell that to everyone, and they're like, "Well, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, you run. And the minute you stop running, that's it. Calorie burn stops. You HIIT, and then it's still going for 24 to 48 hours,
So
and just way more fun." So.
And for anyone who doesn't know, HIIT's high intensity interval training. So basically, lots of abs movements. I think Libby, you've got a good set of abs, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean that's been since lockdown. I have to say they've improved. Yeah.
Brilliant. I've always wanted abs, never had them. Maybe one day.
That's where our collaboration can come in. I'll help you get abs. We'll do it. We'll make it happen.
I can teach you how to DJ. Maybe we can do an exchange or something like that.
Sounds good.
It's brilliant. I think I've covered everything. Just like drum and bass gets a bad rap for a lot of reasons. But the roots of it are good, jungle culture and all of that, positive, equality and all of that, a safe space for people to express themselves through dance. That's kind of what Libby does, just an extension of that. So really exciting. Make sure you go and sign up for her stuff. And I think we'll end the podcast there, guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks so much for having me on.